Born here and bred here, and if you're a red-blooded Aussie, you've got to be impressed by the HSV Senator's signature. But since most Australians now live in the city, has the local hero gone soft, and can it cut it out here?
On the road, the Senator feels really planted, really glued to the road, and that's partly because it's sprung fairly firmly, because it is, after all, designed to be a performance driver's car, but also it runs HSV's MRC, which stands for Magnetic Ride Control, which is a kind of high-tech shock absorber that can adapt to different conditions, so you can set it for comfort or for sport and really get the best of both worlds. The steering, like a lot of VE Commodore-based cars, is pretty sharp. It does turn in very well, and what you put in seems to be pretty much what you get out. And that's also largely due, I would think, to the big fat tyres and the brakes, which are excellent. I mean, this thing has mighty, mighty stoppers. The 6-speed automatic gearbox, I'm not so sure about. Sometimes I've pulled out to overtake road trains, kicked it down, and it's picked up one gear more than I thought I needed. And the shift quality isn't brilliant either. Hold the boot into it, and you sometimes get a flare on the upshifts too, so I remain a little bit unconvinced about this gearbox. But generally, as an overall car to get in and drive a long distance, well, it's like a lot of big Australian cars, it takes a fair bit of beating. You know what I was saying about big cars and big engines? Watch this, I'll just pull up. Now this is a 110k zone, so this is completely legal, but watch this. This will be 0 to 100. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100. That's about 5 seconds. This thing really gets up and goes. It's a lot of fun. And for overtaking a road train, heck, it makes your life easy. In fact, I would go so far as to say that having all that performance actually makes this a safer car. You spend a lot less time on the wrong side of the road when you're overtaking. And out here, where the road trains can be 50 metres long, that's got to count for something. Now, at the start of all this, I reckon there would have been a lot of people who would have bet their grandfather that this car was pretty much nothing more than a life support system for that engine. Well, they'd have been wrong. This car is much more than that. It's a very resolved piece of work, and it's beautifully adapted to Australian conditions, but you'd expect that. At $83,000, however, the Senator Signature is not a cheap car, especially when you consider that it started life as a Holden Commodore. But think about it some more. To get this level of performance and handling and accommodation from pretty much any other car manufacturer is a very tough ask. In fact, it could even be impossible. So maybe, just maybe, this car is one hell of a bargain.